Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Z and Fifth. I'm your host, Mr. Z, and my brethren, the Fifth General.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's good, brethren?
Good, man. Season finale right here. I want to thank everybody else out there who listened. Thank everybody who tuned in and been supporting this podcast from the beginning or supporting it since season 2. Season 3 will be right after the second half of the Round Circle podcast.
Yes.
And, life goes on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Zacchaeus, what we talking about today, man?
Yo, we're gonna talk about the effects of this coronavirus. Not the effects, but we're gonna talk about the shutdown of the major parts that are going on. Okay. Yeah. All right. So hold on tight.
All right. So I'll start off. So I'll just say we've been seeing worldwide shutdowns, to help cut down on the spread, social distancing, the practicing of social distancing. I mean, at one point, they were saying no more than 250 or more gatherings, cut that down. And then now they're talking about, then they went from 50 or more, no more than 50 or more, and then now we're to 10 or more, So it's getting that in hand. But here's the thing, and it's not so much about talking about the deaths, because I feel like they're not talking about the recoveries enough. I mean, in the media, we have people who have recovered in China more than the actual deaths, and that's not being reported on a grand scale. And I have an issue with that. But it just goes to show you that I feel like the media is making the pandemic worse. I mean, you got people out there buying up all the toilet paper and stockpiling, and people are fighting over stuff and it's getting out of hand. And, I mean, it just goes to show you that to me, this is like a test run, to how people are going to act if things don't go right. You know what I'm saying? And if this is a test run, then the people of America are failing miserably. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's not good. And listen, you have celebrities who've been affected by this. Idris Elba, posted a video talking about how he tested positive for coronavirus, and shout outs to his wife for sticking by him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, the vows say, through sickness and health. You know what I'm saying? So shout outs to her. And Idris is going to be fine. He ain't dying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kevin Durant, he tested positive. He's going to be fine as well.
Because you see them guys, their immune system is strong. Well, see, it only affects you hard when your immune system is low and you have like complications like hypertension or diabetes, or you're on dialysis.
Well, heart disease, bad respiratory infections. I mean, well, listen, the flu is bad, and the people who die from the flu happens every year, and it usually happens around flu season, meaning the cold season.
Cold season, yeah.
So they're saying that the cold climate areas are the areas that are suffering the most. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, because, they're saying that it passes around like the common cold. The common cold is some form of some form of COVID-19. But it's not necessarily, there's no vaccine for that, because the common cold is the common cold. It just runs through your body and it runs its course. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they're saying that it's like the flu, but on another level, because if it's untreated, then you have pneumonia and stuff like that. And then they're talking. Right. Then they're talking about people who, if you've had it, you cannot show symptoms, but you can still spread it. But the response is what we really wanted to get down to. is shutting down bars and restaurants, only having curb service or drive-throughs open, but the lobbies are closed. Malls are closing, schools closing. You know what I'm saying? The airline industry is affected big time. There's not a lot of planes in the sky like there once was, because because it got over here like that through plane. So, this is the situation with that. It's the response. Now, I mean, the economy is taking a major blow. So even if beyond just the sickness, economically, we're looking at an economic crash, and then they passed the bill for giving out a stimulus, to taxpayers. You know what I'm saying? To taxpaying citizens. So there's a lot going on. Zacchaeus, let me get your take on it, man.
Yeah, well, I was in the supermarket,
Yeah.
a few times already, and I see the shelves are empty. No, listen, no. When they have like disasters, usually is a panic.
Yeah, like hurricanes coming and
Hurricane Sandy and things like that.
Right.
But I've never seen the shelves so empty yet. I walk into supermarkets and I see the shelves all empty, like the toilet tissue gone, the bread is gone, things that I mean, people are just piling up the shopping carts and just and just going, man. I mean, they just grab it because right now, as it stands right now, the mostly everywhere is shut down. Not only the schools and the airports, but also not the airports are not shut down, but then there's not flying people out. You're not coming in. You can't come into the country. That's what's going on. And the thing is that when you're trying to go and you're trying to buy bread, you can't even find bread. That's what we're experiencing. Also, movie theaters are shut down and places where kids usually go. They're like indoor parks are shut down. A lot of places are shut down. So it's and the streets are empty. If you look at Times Square never looked like ghost town yet. Yeah. So if you look at so everything, this coronavirus affected a lot of things. And I don't know, but we're hoping and praying that it just comes back to normal again. But my thing is this with this, this all we can. I know it's a low gathering, so right now they're trying to warn people not to gather so much, not to gather in huge crowds so much. And I see it, I mean, I've never seen people bump feet. They're bumping feet now instead of hands and elbows.
Yeah, they're doing the kid and play dance.
Yeah, the kid and play. Hola, hola. Yeah, they doing the kid.
House party.
House party, yep. They're doing that. So I've in all my days, I've never seen that,
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to and people that do claim positive, they're trying to keep them distant, keep them in their place. Now, if you have kids, your kids are home. Your kids are home with you, and they're sending they're doing school online, and that's what we're experiencing. Those who are in college, they're going to college. Their material is being online with programs like Zoom and programs that keep you on Skype to keep you. Professors are working from their homes and they're sending material through email, and you're going online and it's like a chat room, huge chat room going on right now. So it's a different day. I told my kids I never experienced this. It's a different day, different time, different day. We never experienced nothing like this as far as like isolation from people. They had disasters too years ago. Those who were young, with 9/11, when 9/11 happened, wasn't like this. But because of this virus and the spread of the virus, we got to take precaution and we got to take it good. I was reading across the world, and I was reading even in Guyana, they had this one woman that passed away. She's 52 years old, and I was like, wow, the first I think one of the first women that passed away from corona in Guyana. I think that was a few days ago, and I'm just looking at different parts of where how it's being affected across the globe, and it's a spread, you know. It's a spread, man. I mean, people can't go out nowhere you can't do anything. Just stay in your home, buy food and come back home. Buy food, or you go shopping in the supermarket and then come back home. And right now, there's I believe right now is a curfew. Most businesses are shutting down by a certain time, so you can't even stay out. Like if you work in the 3 to 11 shift on your job, man, everything will. By the time you get out to go supermarket, everything will be shut down. So it's in a way it's a thing that's affecting people. They can't really get out. They can't really can't do too much. Just home. That's it. Work and home. That's it. So it's a thing that that we in our lifetime we didn't experience, but
the sad thing is
the
sad thing is the layoffs, man. You got layoffs starting.
Yeah, businesses are shutting down. They got some businesses that are being affected by it. Some bars are shut down. They got some restaurants that are you only take out. You can't sit down, but you only can take out. Yeah, but it's affecting a lot of money flow too. So it's what it is. I guess this is a better way than martial. This is a better way to do this than martial law, because martial law is something that the troops.
Hold on, Zacchaeus. Now I got to get your take on this. I didn't even think we was even going to bring this up. Maybe we should.
Yeah, we should.
if you got the National Guard out there, okay, quarantining towns and doing all this other stuff like New Rochelle, they got New Rochelle on some type of lockdown almost,
Wow.
And when you got the when you got the National Guard and the CDC out in the streets like that, the National Guard, I mean, that is a form of martial law developing as we see it right now. Now I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in full effect, meaning for the rest of our lives going forward, but temporarily there are times when martial law has gone in effect. I mean, we saw that happen in Ferguson after Mike Brown verdict. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The once they said that they wasn't gonna bring his murderer to trial, that cop, there was a form of martial law there that we saw happening. There was a form of martial law that went down, in Baltimore over the Freddie Gray situation when Freddie Gray got killed. We saw forms of martial law coming in that play. Nobody cared because the type of martial law that was being mostly acted on was black folks.
Yeah.
So that's why the rest of the world didn't care. But you see how things are happening now, and all of a sudden we care now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we've seen this temporarily. That's why I'm saying now I don't know if it's full effect, but it definitely has its effects at times where we see it. You know what I'm saying? But this is the time to be watchful and mindful. The thing is, you got people not only just stocking up on toilet paper and all that, but a lot of food is off the shelves and stuff. Not all food, but some stuff is off the shelves, right? And then also cats is getting all them, cats is getting all the guns and ammo. You know what I'm saying? They're ready for the apocalypse. People really think this is that situation. So this is why people are acting the way they're acting. I don't think it's safe out there with cats who are not in their right mind. That's why I advise people to do little to. I'm not saying don't live your life. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is do little to none when it comes to being out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Get what you gotta get and go home.
That's right.
You
Don't
know?
hang out. Don't hang out.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Because
mean,
I don't
yeah, because
I don't
yeah.
trust this, man. We don't there's no curfew going on, but that could be next. So this is why I want people to be very careful out there.
Yeah, because the thing is that when it comes
It's
to
the people I don't trust. I'm not saying you could be doing what you got to do, but it's the people, because people feel like, well, let me go ahead and take advantage of the sign of the times. That's what I'm talking about.
yes, yes, it has happened before. It's happened. It's happened before. So that's what we say. Say people out there take precaution, because the thing is that if you going out there and you're hanging out with your buddy and you're hanging out and you just hanging out with the whole tree, you hanging out and everybody hanging out together, then next thing you know, you never know. You never know if somebody's got they got some crazy people out there, man, and they're looking for this kind of opportunity to do their thing, man. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
They will take this opportunity to rob, and they'll take this opportunity to steal anything they got off of you. They're looking for an opportunity to make you become a victim. With all the hype, this is the time they do it, because most of the media attention is on this virus. Most of the media attention is on the virus, not really talking about nothing else too much. There was right now, I think it was 2 days ago, one day or 2 days ago. I think Governor, I think it was in New York, and this is in New York City news. I think Mayor de Blasio wanted to do a lockdown for the city. And then Governor Cuomo said, no, that wouldn't be wise to lock down everything. Lockdown meaning that to close businesses permanently, close businesses down, close restaurants down. So possibly no takeout, nobody coming inside of New York City. Nobody will be able to come out. You can leave New York City, but you can't come back. Stuff like that he was talking about. And Como was like, that doesn't make any sense. There will be no lockdown. I don't agree with that. So he said he don't agree with that. And I agree with that too. There shouldn't be no lockdown. Not like that. Not like that, to take away people's rights to leave New York City if they want to cross over to Jersey or cross over anywhere to Pennsylvania and things like that. So it's getting real hectic. So this is an opportunity. Fifth, you're right. This is an opportunity where people can definitely do some things,
Mm-hmm.
because most of the media attention is on the virus. It's not really talking about nothing else too much.
Yeah.
So
it's not like crimes are not being committed anymore. It's not like police brutality stopped. I mean, just the other day something happened. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm just talking about people who take advantage and say, oh, well, I see people out here scratching and surviving for this toilet paper. Let me go ahead and rob them. Like, I'm telling you, this is the kind of stuff that's happening, yo. This ain't no joke, man. This ain't no joke. You got some people who are taking drastic measures, like taking all the money out their bank. Like, for real.
Yeah. Yeah, they doing it, man.
Taking everything out, man.
Exhausted and everything on the bank. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, man.
Stocking up on water,
Yeah, all the bottles of water in the store is like scarce. You know what I mean?
Bread
in
is
most
bread.
places. Bread and milk.
I had a hard time looking. Yeah,
eggs.
Eggs are gone. I had a hard time looking for eggs. I had a hard time looking for bread. You know how long and high and low I had to look for bread this afternoon. And then high and low I had to look for eggs. It's like, my gosh, I better grab these before it's gone, because I guess tomorrow all this will be gone by tomorrow. It really looks scary out there, because you go to all the supermarket and all the shelves, most of the shelves are empty when you go to the supermarket. So I said, my gosh, you walk in there and you see like milk gone, some eggs. Open one egg carton. The eggs, some of the eggs are cracked. I'm like, oh, I'm not taking this. So and then you see like all they have is white bread. Or I don't eat white bread, but I see all the white bread on the shelves. People,
Huh.
it's something that
Wait a minute. So all the wheat bread and pumpernickel is gone, but they still got the
all is
Wonder Bread
gone.
there.
You got the Wonder Bread still on the shelf. Some of the Wonder Bread, some of the Wonder Bread still on white bread is still on the shelf. Some people, yeah, some people took that too, but some of that too. But
Hey,
that's on. I see that on the shelf. I'm like, man.
I guess they ain't starving that bad, huh?
So I mean, I'm telling you. So it's so people be mindful, be careful. If you go hang out inside the house. Invite your friend over, one or two friends. Hang out inside your house. Don't go hanging out on the street.
Mm.
And then they say and then you have a toilet. Don't get caught with a whole bunch of toilet rolls on you walking down the street.
Yo, people buying all the paper towels and napkins too.
Yeah, they go on Amazon and they're ordering those things too. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really this thing has really took us by storm, man. And who knows when the kids are gonna go back to school, you know? So
Yeah, let me throw this quick news. Let me throw this quick article in here. According to ABC7Chicago.com, under the GOP leaders' plan, the aid would be phased down at income threshold 75,000 for individuals and 150,000 per couple. Additionally, there would be $500 in payments for each child. So this money that's going to be going out has to be for people who are in that income. So 75,000. So if you're a single person, and like I said, this is for taxpayers. So if you are an illegal immigrant, get up out of here. Well, I don't know. And what I mean by that is, don't be expecting no money in your. Don't be expecting no money, and you don't even pay taxes, and you're not even legal in this country. So they're saying this is for legal citizens, taxpayers. So if you're single, you qualify for this stimulus if you make 75,000 or less. Married couples, the threshold for them is 150,000, so you can't exceed that.
Right.
And then, so the if you had now for kids, it would be five. The stimulus would be 500 for each kid, and for the individual, it would be looks like 1,200 per person. I thought it was 1,000 per person, but it looks like they're saying, according to this article, $1,200 per person.
Wow.
So interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that that has been, put in the pipeline, and this is what they call coronavirus. It's part of their coronavirus relief plan, but it's a stimulus. It is, and this is according to ABC7Chicago.com. Associated Press. News distributing source from the AP. So they got that from AP. But that's what's going on. Yeah, I just wanted to put that in there because I did mention that. I just wanted to mention the actual totals.
Yeah. Total, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people feel like, for years, the Republicans have been talking about, we ain't with this socialism, but this is a socialistic tactic. So, I mean, they feel like Trump is trying to buy votes. I don't know. I don't care at this point. But if you're giving out a check, I'll take it. I mean, I ain't, I ain't against that. Yeah. That'll go towards my bills that I already have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. So there's people out there, man, but it's really going really crazy with this corona thing, but also, so the election is So what do you think? The election is put on the election is the talk about the election is put on the back burner for a little while, you know.
Yeah,
So
they're talking about postponing it temporary. Yeah, but that hasn't been fully decided though. Okay, but they talk that because of this whole gathering thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yes,
it's speculation.
yeah. The churches, yeah. Also, yeah, the churches. They are, yeah. Also, churches are just streaming. Most of the mega churches are just streaming. There's no gathering in churches. Only you see, like there's the storefront churches and the small churches. They're having services because it's less than 500. It's less
Right,
than
right.
sometimes there's 30 people in there. You know.
Right, they
So
barely got anybody, so this is why they're able to do. Yeah, but here's the thing. To be clear,
hmm
this is only and this is why I said about martial law. It's a form of
yeah,
martial law because they're basically saying you can't have this many people, and if you do, whatever consequences that may be, I don't know.
right,
Now you have
right,
a lot of events that were canceled. South by Southwest, one of the biggest music festivals in the nation, if not the world, that takes place in
right.
Austin, Texas every year. That got canceled.
Mm.
For those who watch wrestling, WWE, they had to cancel the venue for WrestleMania. Now the event is still going to happen, but they can't do it in front of a live audience.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
No, they
have
can't do it in front of a live audience. Oh,
no
WrestleMania is still going.
because of the gathering of people, and the owners of the stadiums are canceling on these events because they don't want to be held. They don't want to be held responsible for what happens. They don't want this is I think this is mainly because they want to protect themselves from lawsuits. If you ask me, I don't think they can care less about people getting the Rona. I think they don't want to get sued. That's what I feel.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to get. They don't want to get sued because the thing is with this is a spread. There's a virus that can spread real quick.
Right.
You know, because people sitting next to each other, sneezing, coughing.
When yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
you know,
before
you have a shortage. Well, they're talking about the hospitals getting to the point where they don't have enough supplies to last them, as far as like the mask and gloves, because everybody's buying masks and gloves and hand sanitizer and soaps and all that other stuff. Rubbing alcohol and all of that. So a lot of them are having all these. They don't have a lot of beds. So you have that situation going on too. And then nurses and doctors are not trying to get sick too. You already had that going on in China. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know, I was talking to my brother off air. Okay, Zacchaeus. I was talking to him off the air, and I was saying, you know, I hate the fact that we got to talk about this on our season finale. You know, now we're gonna get into Jay Electronica's album next.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it's just that, you know, it's the fact that we got to talk about this, you know, for our season finale is really frustrating. But I mean, you know, I want to make sure everybody's okay, man. You know, but I don't want everybody scared. The media is trying to get you scared. I ain't trying to get you scared. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to play the same hand that they do. You know,
what the Blasio said is before it's gonna get worse before it get better. That's what he said.
I mean, that's what they say. You know, you know, but you know, the whole vaccine situation taking up to a year. There'll be months of businesses not having people congregate for months. They're saying, you know, just a lot of stuff they saying, and a lot of events going to be, you know, first of all, we don't even know what's going on in April yet.
Right.
You know,
right. Yeah.
You know, we don't know. Yo, and 45 is crazy. Yo, he gonna say there are people who have died who've never died before.
What?
What the heck does that mean? Come on, son.
Wow. What? Wait a minute. People that died and never died before.
He said there are people who have died who have never died before.
Yo, what is 45 on, man?
And a reporter questioned him and was like, "Yo, but he really didn't want to smoke. Well, maybe he did, cause she gonna say to him, yo, why you calling this a Chinese virus, yo?" And he was like, she goes, "Isn't that racist?" He said, "Nah, it's not racist." He said it started in China. It started in China. I want to ask that reporter something.
Yeah.
How come she didn't have? Wait, hold on. You know what? She probably wasn't even reporting then. But you notice they don't have that same energy when he was calling Haiti a crap hole country and all the other stuff. How come, they didn't bring the smoke to him then about saying that? So when it came to Haiti, it was okay to say that. But now when it comes to China, it's not okay to say that. Nah.
It's not okay to say that. Yeah, see?
Nah, you're not going for that, man.
Yep. That's a good point. Very, very good point.
I'm just saying, keep that same energy, man. Keep that same energy.
Yep.
Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus, you got anything else to say about this? I'll let you take over with the topic, and then we'll get into Jay Electronica next.
I wanna touch on what I just want to touch on what you said about China, about him calling it a Chinese virus.
A Chinese virus, right? A China virus, Chinese virus. Yeah.
No, they're getting on him for saying that. Okay,
right.
And they're getting on him for saying that. But when he dissed and he cut down Haiti and all the African countries, calling them some of our land a trash land. That's just yeah. How come they didn't get on him for that?
That's what I'm saying. They didn't keep that. They didn't keep to the same level of intensity that they got of being against him for calling this a Chinese virus. That level didn't match the same level about him calling them crap hole countries. And how come we can't get people from Norway? It's funny how he says that, because the countries that he said that they wanted more people from is where the coronavirus is the most effective. There ain't that many cases in the Caribbean islands and Africa and the whole entire continent of Africa like any other place in this nation. Oh, they don't want to talk about that.
Exactly. Wake them up. That's right.
Yeah.
Facts.
And I think they hate that. They're like, dang, how come it ain't hitting Africa like we thought it would? Yeah, like you thought it would.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah, there was. Yeah, exactly. AIDS come from Africa. Ebola come from. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. But yet you're quick to critique him and judge 45 for bringing them. Oh, China, don't say that. That's racist. But you can't critique him and judge him and saying that that's a crash hole country. You can't critique him for saying that African and Haiti is a crash hole country. You see, double standard.
I'm gonna tell you when they started to care. When it hit Italy in the way that it did, then they was like, "Oh, we got to do something."
Yes.
Everybody else was getting everyone else was getting hit heavy, right?
But when
it hit Italy, they was like, we can't have that.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say this: we can't have it if it hits anybody. But my thing is, why did it become important when Italy's name came up? That's when it became important. It wasn't important before that? Okay.
Hello. Facts.
Yeah.
All I gotta say, yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with that, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's transition. Let's get into Jay Electronica's album, A Written Testimony. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This album is very short.
10 songs.
10 songs. It's been a minute since we did a hip hop review. 10 songs. For those who are familiar with Jay Electronica's work, this man we've been waiting for an album for over 10 years. Over 10 years at least.
Over a decade.
Over a decade. I mean, we've been waiting, we've heard material throughout the time, he'll drop a song here and there years ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he definitely got a lot of attention off Exhibit C, years later, Shiny Suit Theory, even though he got Shiny Suit Theory on this album. I don't know why. I mean, song Shiny Suit Theory's a whole record. That's lazy. What the heck you put that on here for? You know what I'm saying? But let me just say something about his skill level. He's a very skillful MC. The problem is that we've waited so long to get albums. He should have at least 6 albums by now. If he would have started back in 2006,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Or 2000. At least 2010. It's 2020. So what he could have had. I'm forgetting what year he came out. I'm sorry, audience. Y'all can Google it yourselves. But I was in college when this man came out. Okay, so I'm 32. Okay, so I mean I anyway. So we're talking early 2000s, right?
Early 2000s.
We've been waiting for this man for years.
Mm-hmm.
For years.
Waiting so long you forgot about him.
Yes, waiting so long you forgot about him. You stopped caring because he would say stuff like, "Yeah, my album's coming," and then it's like, "Well, where is it? Well, my album's coming." Then when he finally said his album was coming, nobody believed him. He became the boy who cried wolf.
Cry wolf.
That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. You never want to have that happen to you. Go ahead, Zacchaeus.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is that when you tell people and you have people waiting that long for an album, it should not be 10.
Thank you. I was gonna get to that.
It should not be 10. It should be at least 20 to 30 songs on the album. The only reason why I said it because the time span.
Yes.
I mean, the whole. You see, the thing is when you are highly anticipated and you let people wait for a while. Like I'm gonna bring up an artist like Usher. He lets people wait for a while. Yeah. But when he comes,
it's quality material though. It's quality.
It's quality material.
Yeah.
It's more than 10, and it's quality material when he brings it.
Right.
Not to say that Jay Electronica don't have no quality material on here, but I'm just saying that an album, this should not be a 10 album. The way how you have people waiting should not be a 10 song album. It should be more than that. That's all I'm saying, because the thing is that when you have people waiting so long and Jay Electronica coming in, and but you see that time span people been waiting, so they forgot. There's so much other artists that they look at, so they've been waiting. So when you finally drop it, they're like 10 songs. What? Oh, and then he put a song on there called Shiny Suit Theory that's been a song that he did
been out years ago.
I was like, okay. Yeah, so it's like, okay.
And I like that joint. But the problem is we've heard it before. So there was no reason to put this song on here. It didn't need to be there. Something else could have been there new. And then it makes you wonder, how confident was he in his music? To wait, because he waited so long. Let's just keep it real, man. He had a lot of freedom. I mean, he signed. Think about it. This man is signed to Rock Nation. Been signed to them for years, and he had to put an album out because it would have looked bad on Jay-Z. That is, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you got everybody else putting out albums, but you on Rock Nation. That's a problem. And Jay-Z helped him with this album. Jay-Z is on almost every song. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To me, that's unnecessary. But let me give Jay-Z some credit. Jay-Z lyrically came off on this album. He did, and that's because he's rhyming alongside another lyricist.
Yeah.
Who can go there, It's no different from when Jay-Z does any record with Nas. He knows Nas is gonna lyrically obliterate a record. So Jay-Z know he gotta have bars. Gotta come with it.
Oh yeah.
For any MC that spits on a record with Nas, you can't spit lazy. Are you crazy? Put me on a record with Nas. Sure. Put me on a record with Nas. You'll probably hear one of my best 16s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
And for those who know how I get down, I'm lyrical. I can go there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Hey.
So you know what I'm saying? So but now let's break down the album. Jay Electronica his background, what he stands for. He's part of the Nation of Islam, right? So
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it on the album.
Right.
Yeah.
You definitely know what he stands for. I've been knowing this for some years now, but you definitely know what he stands for. The first record is more of an intro. It's Farrakhan is speaking. And I feel that definitely set the tone of the album. I actually got to give him credit for doing that. You know? The first actual song on the record that's an actual song is Ghost of Soldier Slim. That's a dope record.
I like that. I like that record. I like that record.
That's
Ghost
a dope record.
Slim? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say something as a thought that came to my mind when I was listening to that record. Jay-Z started it off pretty good. You know, he had a good verse. He did. It's been a while. It's been a while since I heard Jay spit like that. You know, he started it off very well. You know, this song needed one more MC because I felt like it fit his style. Might sound a little biased because people know who my favorite is. Zacchaeus, did this song give you a feeling that, wow, I could hear Nas spitting on this?
It did. I thought it just needed more because the beat was so hot. I enjoyed the beat.
Yeah.
The instrumental.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the flow. I have to admit I enjoyed the flow because this is one of the songs on the whole entire album I choose as one of my songs that I like on the album.
Right. Yeah. It's one
So I said, yes, the beat and the flows I enjoyed, and then Jay just, it just.
He started it off well. Yeah, started
off well. Yeah, and just set the tone for Jay Electronica. So it's one of my if I could choose a song on the whole album, I think this would be one of the top 3 other songs on the whole album.
Yeah,
I said okay, yeah,
it's one of my tops on there. But I you know Jay Electronica, it fit him. It sounded more like it fit somebody else other than Jay-Z. So I felt like, I mean, Jay-Z could spit on anything. I'm not going to say he can. He's an MC. We know that. But I'm listening to this record thinking, man, this would have been dope if Nas was on this record, or, that style.
The way we have people waiting, he should have put Nas.
Yeah, he should have. Can you imagine if he would have had Jay and Well, this beat sounds like something Nas could have had on his album. Like, I want people to get what I'm saying. The style of this record, the beat, this could have been on another artist's album. So I'm actually giving credit to Jay Electronica because I'm basically saying that this song potentially is a Nas record. You know what I mean? And it would have been dope if Nas would have been on that. That would have been crazy. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah.
So
the
next track.
I like. Let me see. I would give. What's it called?
The Blinding's the next record.
The flux capacitor. Oh, what's it say?
Flux capacitor. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a second. The next record, The Blinding.
Yeah.
The Blinding's cool. It has its beat changes, which is cool. Doesn't seem like a Jay Electronica style record. It's a Jay-Z record to me. It sounds like something that could have been on Jay's Blueprint 3 album. You know what I'm saying? It almost sounds similar to it has an on to the next one feel type of beat. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's just run through it. Never Ending Story. I like that record.
That's the one I chose too.
Okay. I like it. Alchemist production. Some people might not like the speed of the record because it's slow, but from an MC standpoint, from a lyricist standpoint, that beat gives you room to say whatever you want on it. And creatively, I liked it. So, and I'm an Alchemist fan, so I really like that record. I like what Jay Electronica was saying. You know, I liked it. I liked it. What you think, Zach? Is
I enjoyed that song because first of all, the beat caught me right away when I heard the beat.
Right, it's experimental.
Yeah, and Alchemist, he has a history of making fire beats. Instrumentals anyway. Yeah, so
definitely.
So I'm not surprised that this Alchemist production was a hot song.
Right,
it fit Jay Electronic.
It definitely fit him.
Yeah, so the production is great on the song. So I was like, man, it's fire, man. But I mean, he did a lot of work with this song, man. And he listened to the lyrics, and I'm like, man, yo, he's because I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I've never heard a Muslim nation is a Muslim MC spit like him. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard of it, but his lyrics are deep. It's lyrical, so you don't really. So a lot of young cats are not gonna really get into him like that. They ain't gonna get into him like that. If you're a lyricist, you'll get into him.
Yeah.
If you're a true hip hop head, you'll get into him. But I could tell a lot of the youth, some of them don't even know who he is.
Well, think about it. He's a mature rapper. So I'm gonna give an example. Like neo soul music is called a mature sound. So you're not gonna have a lot of kids loving neo soul, and neo soul doesn't need that. Neo soul is in this generation is about as the closest to the realest R&B we used to get back in the 70s. So neo soul fills that void, okay, as far as the audience goes. Jay Electronica is for me and you, okay?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. He's not for guys, for the same cat, no disrespect, for the same young dude who only listens to Lil Uzi Vert and 21 Savage is not going to be feeling Jay Electronica. And Jay Electronica doesn't care because you need to do music that you love, not music for people who you think going to love it. You do it because you love it.
Yeah, exactly. You're just not for Roddy Rich, people that like Roddy Rich or Lil Baby, those, they have an audience for that.
Exactly, and they can have that.
Yeah,
and shout outs to Jay-Z for allowing an MC such as Jay Electronica to even put out a project and not even be commercial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to Jay. Yeah.
I have to respect, and shout outs to Jay-Z for getting on this album and him not sounding, and he was mature on this album. This was Jay-Z, as far as his level of maturity musically, was on this album as well, other than just 444. So there was some 444 elements of Jay-Z on this album. As far as his contribution to this project.
Yeah.
Shiny Suit Theory. Great record. We love it. Great beat. But it's old. We heard it before.
Right.
Okay, so let's move on. Universal Soldier. I like Universal Soldier. I don't love it, but I really do like it. I would put that up there as one of the top records too.
Yeah, I chose, on my list, I chose that record. Universal Soldier was one of my first ones. Yep. One of my first ones is Universal Soldier. That's the third one on my list. Universal Soldier.
Right.
Because I said it's to me as like I'm getting used to his flow, so I kind of I like his flow, and I like the style that he's kicking and everything. It just brings me back to the element of where hip hop used to be.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like I said before, I'm glad that Jay kind of supported this brother, because the thing is that you think because we're older cats and cats that are older, they don't listen to hip hop no more. That's not true. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that I'm kind of happy that Jay kind of supported, didn't go with a trendy trend, but went with somebody that's authentic enough to put out material like this. And Universal Soldier is a record that's like that. It's like, well, all of his records are like that. But it's just that he can actually pull out lyricism, and I thank God, he did that. Also, and shout out to Rhapsody. She's the same way, So it's like when it comes to lyricism, and when it comes to they're not following the trend with the trap music, but they're just lyricists. It's just like dancehall reggae. Time and place. It's like different segments. You have the reggae segment, you have the dancehall segment, and it's just different. It's just a different flow. You have the roots rockers reggae, you got the roots, and then you have the raga soca, and you have the groovy soca, and it's just different flows, different elements, and that's good for hip hop because you cannot stick with one formula. You gotta bring out the roots, and the roots is Jay Electronic, Nas, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? The roots.
Yeah.
The roots of hip hop.
Well, as a lyricist, I think his gift is, up there with the likes of a Jay-Z, a Nas, a Mos Def, a Common. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So as far as his lyrical skill, and I'll get to that later. So let's get to Flux Capacitor. Mm-hmm. Track is all right. I mean, it's not something. It's not a. I usually after the few times of listening to it, I skip the record now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's not bad. There was some lyrics on there that I like. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I would say this is one of the least liked songs on this album, my opinion. Real quick, because we got to run through it real quick. Fruits of the Spirit. Now that is one of my top ones.
Fruits of the Spirit.
Yes, I thought the beat was dope, and just hearing Jay Electronica on it. And this album needed more solo Jay Electronica. You know what I'm saying? Because this album is like some people are saying, well, this is like when Jay and Kanye did that album. It's like another Watch the Throne. You know what I'm saying? I just wish there was more songs like Fruits of the Spirit, from Jay. The song, from Jay Elect, it's a short song though. That's the problem because it's short. But this is what I wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying?
It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah. That thing runs dry. It runs out quick. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Ezekiel's Wheel.
No, that was okay.
That's okay. I don't hate it. Okay. Jay Electronica's bars on there was weak. That's probably that. Yeah, this is probably his least lyrical record. I mean, he wasn't saying much on that record. It felt rushed.
Yeah, my thing with that is it looked like he was getting kind of I don't know, when I listen to that record, I'm like saying that it's like one of this guys kind of like just laying back on this track and he got kind of just tired.
He got like he got exhausted lyrically, like as far as writing, like he just got exhausted. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I feel a certain way about this record. I just feel that lyrically it was probably Jay's verse was decent, but I think Jay Elec's verse was very lazy. I don't think this song belonged on this album, man. I really don't. Ezekiel's Will could have been a lost tapes thing for him, Just saying. Yeah. I would say this is probably the weakest track on the project. Real talk.
Yeah, the way he was laying back, this track was like, okay.
Not much lyrical effort on this record. If I could be critical, that's the only thing I could be critical about, because lyrically, he had bars everywhere else on this album. Just that record just fell flat. You know what I'm saying? Last song on the album, Apidta. Well, it's acronyms, APIDTA.
It's okay.
Another one that's a decent record. I understand the concept. I do understand the concept. Jay's verse, the hook sounds personal. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't like how this album ended, man. Zacchaeus, speak to this.
It just, I didn't really pay attention to that record because I only played it once, but because I was feeling the other tracks. I was feeling some of the other tracks on the album, so I only played it really once. So I was like, okay, I'll pass on it. It's okay. I played it once for myself, and I said, okay, I didn't get into it. Sometimes some records you don't really get into right away, and so this is one of the songs I didn't really get into. I would probably have to listen to it more than one time to really probably feel it. But like, if it doesn't catch me the first time, it might not catch me again. So it might not catch me. It might not catch me at all. So I just didn't feel that. When I listened to it was a little lyrical, but it just, for the 10th song of the album, sometimes you have to go out strong when you do it like a 10th song, like you do when you're ending the album. Sometimes you gotta go out pretty strong or come up with something fresh, like to a point where it doesn't sound like no other record. But it sounds just something a little. Maybe you gotta have some features on this, but like different features on it.
Yeah,
but
I understand.
Yeah, so it's one of those records that you're like, okay, I heard it. Okay, this one, okay, it's cool, but the beginning of the album, for the beginning of the album, I get, even the Suit Theory was not so bad. I mean, although it's
see,
been out there before,
exactly, and the tone of the album, and you're gonna agree with me. Most MCs, growing up when I was listening to hip hop, is if you start strong and you end strong.
Yeah.
This album ended weak. That's the problem. It ran out of gas.
Yeah, I just felt that this record could have used some more. This record could have used some more features, and it could have used some more
songs, and less Jay-Z.
More songs, yeah.
Less Jay-Z, respectfully, less Jay-Z, because we need to know what Jay Elect could do on his own. We've been waiting all this time.
Yeah, because it's just, they got some MCs out there very lyrical, but they don't put out at least. Well, I give him props. He put out some music, and he put out an album. They got some MCs out there that they're lyrical, but can they put out a song?
Yeah.
You can be lyrical, but you can be
project?
lyrical.
Yeah.
But can you put out a song though that people can sing along to? Can you put out a song that people can vibe to? Can you put out a song? I mean, you could be lyrical, and nothing wrong with being lyrical, but can you put out a song that people can remember? And the last song, to be honest with you, I have to listen to it again, and I couldn't. And I had to play it. I played it once, but it didn't catch me because it's one of those songs that you have to listen to it over and over again. You can't just listen to it once. You gotta listen to it over and over again because, and I don't know, because I mean, when I view songs, I always look for like catchy. What's catchy about the lyrics? What's catchy about? Can I remember the song once I finish listening to the song?
Well, you know what that means. If you didn't get that feeling, then that means this album wasn't timeless. That's what that means.
Yeah,
it's not a timeless album.
Yeah, for the wait, it could have been timeless for the wait.
Yeah, should have.
It could have been. It could have been more like catchy songs to people could be like, well, man, I remember that joint. When you hear a song off the album, you can sing along to the song, or you can recite the lyrics because it's a dope album,
Or you at least care about it enough for it to hold some type of replay value. It doesn't have the replay value that this album was expected to have. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's where it fell short. And I don't like that, man.
Yeah, Cool dude, man. Yeah.
Like, you know, gifted,
Yeah.
gifted artist, but this just wasn't it, man.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
just wasn't
brother.
it,
So,
man.
yeah, man. So,
Well,
what we gonna do about now?
yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna end off by thanking all our fans for listening to this last
absolutely,
episode of
absolutely.
Mrs. E Fifth
Season 2.
for season two.
Yeah,
Season two, of
yeah.
course. So we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for listening. We thank you for blessing us with your ears. And hold tight, because we'll be back.
All right.
And look out. Look out. We're coming with a new show. Look out.
Exactly.
The Round Circle.
Exactly.
Round Circle season 2. So look out for that.
So Zach,
our brother.
so let them know where they can reach you, man, before you go.
Yeah, they can reach me at Facebook. Wayne Zacchaeus Bacchus on Facebook. Also on Instagram, Zacchaeus B73 on Instagram. Also on Twitter, Wayne Bacchus 2. That's at Wayne Bacchus 2 on Twitter. So yeah, holla at me, y'all. Blessings.
All right. Y'all can reach me at the Fifth General, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at the Fifth General. This has been the season finale of season 2 of Mrs. Ian Fifth. Season 3 will be back later on this year, late in the year. Probably the fall time. That should probably be when we're ready again, sometime in the fall of 2020.
Yeah,
but y'all
fall
can,
2020.
right. But this won't be the last you'll hear from us this year. You know, just remember to tune into our other podcast with our brother Cinema Escapes, The Round Circle. We'll be sometime in April of this year, finishing out the rest of season 2 of The Round Circle. And we're gonna get back to some interesting topics on that. All right, y'all. Yeah. Signing off, the Fifth General, Zacchaeus. See y'all next time.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.